Star Trek, issue 45. This is an exact reprint, cover and all, of issue number 7. Voodoo. From across space, it makes its deadly mark on Earth. Star Trek, The Voodoo Planet, Chapter 1. In all the explorations of space, the Starship Enterprise had never encountered such an incredible sight. It staggered the minds of the most seasoned voyagers, for they had rocketed into the most terrifying world of the universe, on the Voodoo Planet. The Eiffel Tower, it's toppling. Let's get out of here, Spock, fast. I'm highly in agreement, Captain Kirk. As you Earthlings say, let's move it. Captain's log, stardate 2417.9. This day in our exploration of deep space, something of significance was detected. Mr. Sulu, give me maximum magnification of that planet in vector A7 on the viewer. Aye, aye, Captain Kirk. There's something familiar about that planet, something disturbing. Maybe a good close look will show us what. Some stellar dust got between us and the planet, Captain. We'll have to wait till it passes. Then, as the picture clears, Mr. Spock, report to the bridge on the double. Well, Spock, what do you make of that? Not possible, Captain. Our current position is several light years distant from this point. But it apparently is true, for there, in what is supposedly the deep void of a distant galaxy, is Earth. Superbly fantastic. We could not have returned toward Earth. Perhaps we have passed through a space warp. A space warp, but our electronic equipment can register those with an alarm. The ones we have reason to suspect exist, Captain. This could be of an unknown force. Well, whatever in blue blazes has happened, let's pour on the coals and take a first-hand look-see. Tense minutes later, the Enterprise cuts her power, and as she hovers over the surprising appearance of Earth, we've homed in over Paris, Spock. Good a place as any to transport down, I guess. Very well, Captain Kirk. Moments afterward, in the transporter room, can't tell what we'll run into down there, Dr. McCoy. Keep the radio close. Roger. And when the pair have materialized near the famed Eiffel Tower, most unusual. Not a person about. And not a car or bus or truck, not even a bike. Great Novus, Spock. Could there have been a proton bomb war? Where only life, not structures, were destroyed by the terrible rays? I think not. There would be at least skeletons remaining and wreckage of vehicles crashing. Suddenly, Mr. Spock's analytical mind makes a startling observation. Captain, this tower is several hundred feet shorter than the 984 feet recorded height. Shades of Vulcan. This girder. The entire structure is papier-mâché. A fake Eiffel Tower? A papier-mâché city, too? Suddenly, their astonishment turns to terror as laser beam ray. Japes, 1,000 tons of papier-mâché will kill like bricks, Spock. Run for it. Most assuredly. Welcome to my private world. Who are you? What's all this madness about? What kind of crazy game are you playing? You will have your answers to your questions if you live to hear them. Well, Spock, what does your Vulcan mind make of this? An obviously demented being, Captain, but the purpose of this duplicate Earth of yours challenges my intelligence. What purpose could it possibly serve? Suddenly, a communique from the Enterprise shatters the drama. Captain, a condition read over space radio. The city of Paris has been thrown into panic. Wait, we'll transport at once back to the ship. Returning aboard, the trio is shown an astonishing sight by a wide-eyed Lieutenant Sulu. It's a shocker, sir. As you can see by this relayed galaxy radio photograph, the Eiffel Tower on Earth has collapsed. Suddenly, another photograph is beamed onto the Enterprise's screen. The structure suddenly buckled in two, killing hundreds. The mysterious catastrophe occurred at exactly 12:40 p.m. 12:40 p.m. Earth time. That was precisely the outer galaxy time here that the papier-mâché tower toppled on us. Then there's a link between the two calamities. It being mere coincidence borders on the impossible. Could it be some sort of weird deep space voodoo, I wonder? Voodoo? Oh, yes, those mysterious rites practiced by cults in which they stick a pin into a doll representing an enemy, and he supposedly dies. Yes, Mr. Spock, as a laser beam pin stuck the fake Eiffel Tower, the real one died on Earth. Why, the entire Earth could be voodooed to doom that way. We've got to find the source of that laser beam fast, man. In seconds, the mighty Enterprise proceeds under full power. But even before she can escape the area, another calamity is in the making. Captain, our space scope is detecting a flashing object under terrific speed coming this way. We sighted it, Lieutenant Sulu. Great stars, a laser beam, and on a direct course towards Rome. The papier-mâché Colosseum, the beam has pulverized it. Contact Earth at once, see if the Colosseum is still standing. Aye, aye, Captain. The staggering report describing another catastrophe is shortly received by the ship. Our great Roman amphitheater fallen into dust. How could it happen? Just like that. The news and what it signifies passes through the Enterprise like a shockwave. The destruction of the Colosseum leaves no room for doubt, team. We've got a frightening voodoo menace to smash. Before it smashes Earth and our people to pieces. Did probe units get a fix on that beam? I can put you right on target, sir. The ship cuts through the blackness of the universe until that planet has to be the locale of the laser beam. It is the only one within 1,000,000 miles of here. And we're in luck. That cloud of space trash will obscure our ship from view and confuse their detection equipment. We'll just ease into the center of the debris and use it as camouflage. And then Spock, McCoy, and I will transport down and do a little shopping. And minutes later, as three figures materialize unseen on the planet, their eyes fall upon a weird sight. Those beings, they're hurling needle-like spears into human dolls. Yes, Doctor, we've stumbled into an incredible voodoo civilization. And that deadly laser beam, it's got to be destroyed before it's too late for planet Earth. Our objective, Captain, it could be that guarded structure over there. Shall we check it out? He's going to hit that button. It must be the laser beam firing button. Stop or we'll fire. Too late. And an instant later in Egypt, run for your lives. The Sphinx is toppling. May Allah spare us. I'm back in the control room on the awesome voodoo planet. The Sphinx is destroyed. Can't do anything about that now. But this mad fiend's got a lot of explaining to do. Take him. He'll take no one, you idiots. Look there. Two voodoo lights clutching dolls of us, Captain, and about to plunge needles into them. A sharp pain in my side. My stomach burning up. Ho, ho, boys. Star Trek The Voodoo Planet, Chapter 2. Count Dressler. As Kirk and Spock invade the control room of the Voodoo Planet, needles are stuck into dolls bearing their resemblance, and a flood of pain strikes them down. They are subdued, strip them of their weapons and any personal effects, then remove the voodoo pins. Good, now place them in the prisoner confinement cage. Great Novus, Dressler, the mad ruler of a tiny kingdom on Earth? Up here? So this is where you vanished to when half the world was hunting you down, Dressler. Precisely. It suited my purposes to flee Earth at the time. Well, at least your insane plan of dominating the world from your little kingdom was smashed. You were the only fanatic in power who sought to make hydrogen bombs when all Earth was negotiating to ban them. How did you manage it, Dressler? The last I heard, thousands of troops were closing in on your kingdom. I was quite prepared, Captain Kirk. When I realized the odds were hopeless, I merely triggered my emergency plan and rocket escape in deep space. I sought refuge on one of the planets hostile to Earth's ways. It was merely good fortune I came upon the Voodoo Planet here. Friendly space cruiser requests landing permission. It was only a matter of time before I mastered the minds of these dolts, stole their occult secrets, and became their leader. But observe, you are just in time for a demonstration. Then, what? He seems to be throwing himself into a trance of some kind. Undoubtedly a ritual necessary to perform the voodoo act, Captain. Abruptly, a picture flashes on the screen. Yeah, yo. Kia. A TV picture of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Observing how this criminal induces voodooism can be to our advantage. Now he's drinking a green liquid. The liquid obviously activates his voodoo powers in some way. In a hypnotic state, Dressler heads for the laser beam gun. He has made himself into a man possessed, and he's heading for the laser gun to blast the Pisa Tower on his mock Earth, no doubt. A moment later, a deadly laser beam streaks from the voodoo planet through space. And a microsecond later, as the dummy Pisa Tower is destroyed, that's it. The one and only leaning tower of Pisa on Earth, gone on a voodoo wind. You see, Captain Kirk, Mr. Spock, I have not lost. You will stay here as my hostages, and inform Earth I will voodoo it to utter destruction unless I am granted amnesty to return a free man. You are a little late, Dr. McCoy. Kindly employ our phaser. A pleasure, Mr. Spock. Stand back and I'll blast those bars. The radio transmitter man, we've got to bust our way through those voodooites to get at it. Move quickly. Then, when the phaser melts enough of the bars to form an exit, now, they're free. Hold them off while I grab the radio. Desperately, Dr. McCoy and Spock hold off the voodooites until... Down them, you dolts. Beat them to the ground. I have it, men. We've got to clear these characters from the area, or the pack of them will be transported up to the Enterprise with us when I radio in. Finally, for a fleeting moment, the three are free. This is it. Leap toward me. Hurry. Captain Kirk to Enterprise. Transport is back. Immediately. Red alert. Vanishing before my very eyes. Incredible. But you haven't seen the last of us, Dressler. We're going to stop your mad scheme one way or the other. As the trio materializes in the transporter chamber aboard the Enterprise, what can we do, Captain? If we attack Dressler's lair, we're bound to kill those misled voodooites. Yes, that's out, but we've got to come up with something, and fast. Perhaps if I study my book on Vulcan occult history, it may suggest a solution, Captain. I seem to recall a strange clan that practiced such bizarre powers centuries ago. Good idea, Spock. We've got to play all the angles. Oh, my arm! My left leg, a severe shooting pain. Dressler, he must be playing pins and needles with your voodoo dolls. Captain, Spock, how bad is it? Unbearable. I don't think I can stand it. Let's get into sickbay. I'll inject you with a painkiller. It should ease your suffering. Agonizing minutes later after the injections. Well, any relief? Tolerable. At least I can function. That crackpot's really got us at his mercy. Let's get to that occult book of yours, Spock, and hope it contains something to stop him. Very well, Captain. The wounded Kirk and Spock anxiously scanned the pages of the book for hours until... Here it is, Captain. The Vulcan clan was known as Paincasters. Go on, Spock, keep reading. Most amazing. The ritual practiced by the Paincasters to inflict physical harm is almost identical to the voodoo rites. A trance-like state is induced by a mystic chant, a potion swallowed, and the power of paincasting is induced. Spock, this may be our solution. If we could duplicate the Paincasters' powers, we could tackle Dressler with his own weapon, voodooism. Does it mention the ingredients of the potion? Yes, but the herbs and chemicals required can be found only on Vulcan. However, I may be able to produce synthetic ingredients. Then let's get to the lab and go to work. As the pain continues to rack their limbs, Kirk and Spock frantically work until finally, this should do it. But I can promise nothing, Captain. Put it to the test, Spock. A moment later, a kneeling doctor Spock utters strange words. Kalua. It's got to work, McCoy. It's the only way we have for dealing with that madman. He's drinking the potion. We'll soon know the answer. I've got my fingers crossed. Suddenly, the tenseness is broken as, Captain, the pain in my leg. It's gone. This means I possess the power of the paincasters. Hurry, perform the ritual as I did, and rid yourself of your pain. And after the captain performs the ritual, no more pain. What a relief. Now, into action. We've got to return to the planet, destroy that laser beam, and deal with Dressler. Only this time, we can match his voodoo weapon with pain casting. I have an idea how that could be accomplished, Captain, but I will require a few minutes. Join me in the transporter chamber shortly. Remember, we want to materialize right in Dressler's lab. Yes, sir. As the materializing forms of the captain and Spock appear in Dressler's laboratory, you two, back again, eh? I don't know why you're not in utter pain, but this time I shall kill you with my voodoo powers. Don't count on it, Dressler. Suddenly, the unexpected happens. Look, Dressler stopped in his tracks, and he's clutching his shoulder as if in pain. Our pain casting is affecting him. Now I understand. The potion that protected him from our powers is worn off. He's no longer immune. And now he's feeling the effect of the pin jab we gave his doll. Well, let's get close enough to transport him to the ship before one of the voodoo ray blasts call us by name. A moment later, Kirk radios for the transporter beam and, whew, that was close. We're getting out of here, just in the nick of time. And aboard the Star Spaceship Enterprise, I suppose a quick trial and execution will be my fate. We have better plans for Count Dressler, a fate befitting your evil. We have a planet in mind for you, one on which you can sustain yourself, but where there is no living being you can harm. A planetary prison? I'll go mad. You might call it solitary confinement, Dressler.